Scott Larson, the Laboratories Division Administrator.
All right. Now, congratulations, first of all, on your appointment. Where did you come from?
Well, I've been the supervisor of the toxicology section here for the last 4 years, and before that I was the Deputy Chief Toxicologist for the Office of the Chief Medical Examiner in Washington, D.C. Before that I was with the Armed Forces Medical Examiner Service as a toxicologist, and before that I was here in Missoula going to graduate school.
Wow. Well, welcome back.
Thank you.
All right, so tell me a little bit about yourself and your family.
I've got 2 children, 18-month-old and a 6-year-old girl, and my wife works here at the university, so we're just happy to be back in Montana.
All right, so tell me what your duties will be.
I'll just be kind of oversight of the laboratory. We've got a lot of kind of exciting projects moving forward, so just kind of help facilitate all those different moving parts and working with the Attorney General's office. And
now, specifically, when someone says the Montana State Crime Lab, there are all sorts of television things that jump into mind. You know, like there's CSI, there's all these different things. How do you differentiate the actual science that you do from, say, the entertainment portion that we see on TV?
I think the biggest thing is clearly we're much more focused and specialized, so we don't arrest people and then go run back to the laboratory and process DNA samples and then toxicology samples. So we've got our 5 or 6 different sections. They're all very focused, and it really just takes more time than you would see on TV.
So you can't get it done in 60 minutes?
No, not at all. Unfortunately not.
How long does it take to process a DNA sample realistically?
Well, in terms of the kind of the technical aspects of that, you know, in and of itself, you could probably do it in, you know, depending on the complexity of the case, a couple days. Some cases may take up to 30 days. But the problem is it's just kind of huge caseload increases over time. So we're just kind of working on with the resources that we have and trying to get the cases done faster than they come in, but it's a challenge.
Well, now, recently there was another office of the crime lab that opened in Billings. So yes. How has that helped what you folks do here?
Well, so that is focused with just a chemistry section. So the great thing with that is obviously there's a lot more resources that come with that, with the extra FTEs, so we're able to get our turnaround time a lot faster within the chemistry section. So that's been a great help.
What would you say is your biggest challenge coming into this job? Obviously, you've been working here, so your feet are already on the ground. So as you look at being the administrator, what's your biggest challenge?
I think just, I guess I kind of felt, you know, back to something we just spoke about, is kind of, we really are getting a lot more cases in all the different sections. Whether it's, you know, DUIs have increased by, you know, almost triple in the last 6 years. DNA's kind of, their casework has exploded over the last few years. So it's kind of working with the new reality of the number of cases that we have with kind of a, not as, you know, not a lot of new FTEs and not a lot of new resources. So we're just trying to be really smart by the way we kind of set up our testing structures and trying to be as efficient as possible to kind of deal with those realities.
Do you find that it's unusual to have so many cases in a state with just a million people?
This is a pretty decent-sized lab, though. I mean, even though it is, because it's just one lab for the whole state, you know, my lab in D.C. before, we run well over almost 4 times the number of toxicology samples here than we do. So it's a busy laboratory overall.
All right. What do you enjoy most about being here?
I've always been very impressed with the people that work here in the lab. I really enjoyed my 4 years to, you know, start getting to know people that work here, and it's a much nicer lifestyle living here than it is in DC. We've got a new lab going up in a new morgue, so we'll have a specialized place for autopsies.
Where will that be?
In Billings. So we'll be building that there, so that's going to be a big project over the course of the next year. We've got kind of the SACI initiative, which is the DNA program with the sexual assault, so we'll kind of continue that initiative. And then our accreditation, our breath program just got accredited for the first time ever just a couple weeks ago, so we're only the 26th lab in the country, so we're excited about that. So
now, what do you mean accredited breath? Explain that.
Our breath alcohol program has been the only section within the whole crime lab that hasn't been accredited, and that was mainly because when the original lab got accredited through our different by our accrediting body, ASCLD Lab, breath was not covered in that. It didn't exist. So that has since happened over the last couple of years. So we kind of caught up with that, and now we're a fully accredited laboratory, so we're happy with that.